Well, greetings from day 117. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon, and we have been kind of stuck here to the hotel room today. We've been dealing with laundry. We had some breakfast. I just ate snacks out of my food bag for lunch to make room for more food. And our plan for this afternoon is to get a shuttle over to the Walmart in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. There's a little thing called the Pocono Pony Plus, which is like a $2 door-to-door Uberish kind of a thing, but it's a local transit system. So I'm going to put that into the phone and get a ride over. We'll go resupply. I've got to find some shoes somewhere, and we need to make it to an outfitter and get a couple of items. So resupplying today and just kind of chilling. I'm going to work on some videos today. I've been working for the last couple of hours trying to work logistics northbound, and we got not a lot of water and not a whole lot of indoor places to stay in the next couple of weeks or so. Not a lot of resupply options. So I know it's possible to do out there. I just don't know quite exactly how yet. Talked to Bullfrog, texted with Angel a little bit, and we've got some thoughts on that. So I think we've got our route planned out for the next week. We'll just sort of have to see how it goes. But I'll check with you a little bit later. There's several things I want to talk about today on this 0 day. So I'll see you just in a few minutes. Well, I'm walking down the street here in Delaware Water Gap. And I'm headed for the outfitter. It's actually moved. Lots of car traffic, sorry. It's actually moved across the street down here. So we're going to check in on that. I've heard good things about this place too. We'll check that out on the way back. But anyway, the outfitter should be down here at the place with all the boats. I need to get a bite valve for Gavin's water system, and I need shoes. Probably ought to get a can of gas. So we're going to go and see what of that they have and what of it we're going to have to go into town for. Well, we are chilling here at the Walmart Supercenter in Stroudsburg. Been to a couple of shoe stores, got some shoes, got some gas for our stove, a few other gear items. We've got resupply for the next little bit. So theoretically, we are good to go. We're just kind of waiting on our ride. The Pocono Pony is a transit system, sprinter vans that run the area just between a couple of three towns here, kind of a small area that they run. But we're going to wait on that ride back to the hotel. We'll resupply. I've got to upload some videos and edit a little bit. And I need to record some video for today because there's some things that are on my mind that I want to talk to you about, but I think I want to do it when there's less noise. But anyway, we're still getting our 0 day chores finished up. We've done our laundry, and resupply is good. So we'll get back to the hotel and finish everything up, and I'll let you know what's been on my mind. Well, good evening from day 117. Probably this is going to be very echoey. I'm in the pool area. I was looking for a place outside, but there's traffic noise and the sun's blaring in the actual hotel room. Gavin's on the phone, and I don't want to take that away from him because he's talking with a friend. So I wanted to share a little bit about our trip so far. I haven't counted the number of states we've been through. Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. We've got 6 of 13 knocked off, and it's not going to take us a long time to knock off New York and New Jersey. Not in that order. We go into New Jersey tomorrow, and I think there's about 70 or 80 miles in either state, not a whole lot. I've been working on logistics today, just sort of trying to figure out what does the trail look like going forward? Where can we resupply? Where can we do laundry? Where can we stay a night if we need to get, indoors and find a hotel and rest and relax a little bit and get a good shower? Those are all concerns that we have out here that are, legitimate, that, living outdoors in the woods is great and good, but it is nice to be able to get indoors at least once a week to just do hygiene and that sort of thing. So I've got some plans for the next week, and I think we'll be okay with it. We're about to hit the portion of the trail called the deli blaze, where, once or twice a day, you're going to be passing a road crossing where there's a deli, and you can stop and eat the food there, and you can pack food out so you don't really have to carry a full food bag. And we'll kind of keep our eyes out for that. We'll see other hikers out there that some of them may have done this section before, or they've done some research, or they know people. They've got some better ideas than what we've got. So we'll keep our ears open and listen, and we'll learn. So we're looking forward to heading into the next week of travel. It'll see us into New York State, and we're kind of excited about that. The trail crosses very close to West Point Military Academy, the U.S. Army Military Academy, and that's probably the next town. I think it's Fort Montgomery is south of West Point, is the next place that we could potentially get off and have laundry done, and that's about 5 or 6 days out, and that's about normal. So anyway, we'll keep our eyes on that. Thank you for joining us. I've got a couple of other thoughts that I'll share with you, but I think I'm going to go somewhere where it's a little bit less echoey. I'm back in the hotel room, and I wanted to close out today's video with a few thoughts. I mentioned earlier in the video that we have come through quite a number of states right now. Georgia was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of steep, and it was kind of hard. And I'm kind of curious to know, was Georgia really that hard, or were we just that far out of shape, or, exactly how is that? And I've heard different stories. I've heard of a through hiker who actually went back and re-hiked Georgia after he hiked the AT just to sort of see if it was that bad, and his declaration was, yeah, it was. North Carolina, Tennessee, that's close to home. Some of my favorite sections of trail are in that area. We passed through the section between Hughes Gap and Highway 19E, which includes the Roan Highlands. Jane Bald is a beautiful view. We had Little Hump and Hump Mountain. Saw the site of the old Over Mountain Shelter. Those were really kind of neat. Went through the Smoky Mountains, which were fun, but they were cold and wet. But it was a good hiking. And then you hit Virginia. Virginia is over a quarter of the trail. More than a quarter of the trail lives in the state of Virginia. And, people say the trail's flat in Virginia. Well, that's not really true, but you can make some miles in Virginia because you're beginning to get your trail legs. You start out with Damascus right off the bat, which is great, except for the fact that we kind of got hung up there for 4 days with shin splints on my behalf. Didn't plan to spend those days. You get into the Grayson Highlands, so you've got views for days. And then you've got all the ponies, which is beautiful. As you hike on up through, we go through some towns that we're familiar with. We were blessed with Trail Magic near Parisburg, and for about a full week, we saw Pringles off and on a lot of days, or most days even, either bringing us food and drinks out to the trail or slack packing us, and we're blessed by that. We spent a good bit of time at Angel's Rest Hostel, but we were able to slack pack every day that we were there, except for 1 day off that we took doing town chores and getting some new glasses frames and that sort of thing. As you go on up through Virginia, you get onto Skyline Drive and the Shenandoah National Park. We saw Angel and Bullfrog there. That was awesome for them to come out from Kentucky. It was about a 6-hour drive for them to come visit us for the weekend, and it was great to see them. Good to spend time. They slack packed us. We had some good food. We ate out and just really enjoyed their company there in Waynesboro. Once you leave Waynesboro, then you're on Skyline Drive and the Shenandoah National Park, and we were able to put in some really big miles there. We had 3 back-to-back 20-plus mile days. We were able to see Beth and Griffin and Taylor in Luray, Virginia. They came out to visit us, and it was good to spend the weekend with them, taking some time off and just resting and relaxing and reconvening with family, because we hadn't seen them and we've missed them an awful lot, and we still do every day. Once you get out of Virginia, you hit West Virginia. Not a whole lot to say about West Virginia because there's not a whole lot of it on the Appalachian Trail. We stayed in Harpers Ferry probably a day longer than we should have, given that our car rental situation was boogered up and we weren't able to get a car. But we enjoyed the time there and kind of saw some folks. Lots of hikers pile up there. So we met quite a few folks that we'd seen and enjoyed that time. Out of West Virginia, you go into Maryland pretty quickly, and Maryland is another fairly short state, less than 40 miles, I think. And then once you get out of Maryland, you're into Pennsylvania. And the southern part of Pennsylvania, beautiful. We had good hiking. We had a lot of farmland hiking. We saw a lot of old barns and just lots of farm plots and that sort of thing. We were in the woods some too. And we were blessed with Trail Magic, all the way through Pennsylvania. I can't say too many bad things about the state because We had Derek and Linda, Sharon and Dale, and we had Squeak, all of whom offered to let us stay at their places for no charge. And that was just a real true blessing for their ministry and for their reaching out to hikers. And we can't say thank you enough to you guys. But once we got north of Duncannon, Pennsylvania, the rocks began. And I can say the word rock now because we're within sight of the state line. I know the rocks are going to continue into New Jersey as we traverse the bridge over the Delaware River tomorrow. We'll have another day or two that's not going to be as much fun as it could be. But then, based on what several folks have told me, the rocks kind of abate as we get on through into New Jersey. And we're about to start the part that's called the Deli Blaze. As we go through New Jersey and into New York, there'll be quite a few places almost on a day-to-day basis where we can pull off the trail just a little ways. We can get a good sandwich, we can get some food, we can get a drink, we can pack out those kinds of things, and we won't have to carry as much weight in our bags. So that'll be kind of a nice thing. I mentioned in a video a day or so ago, it's been really frustrating for the last couple of weeks because, as you're now well aware, we got hung up between Carlisle and Duncannon, Pennsylvania for an injury or two and for some logistics issues and that sort of thing. But we were blessed to have a good place to stay for free, and we thank you guys for that. But we spent more time there off the trail than we had intended. We planned our days ahead, and first one thing and another, Gavin had his ankle turned. That cost us, didn't cost us a day. It just kind of messed up our logistics. And one of the hardest parts of the trail for me is sitting down, and I spent hours on this morning. Once we get to a place and we're taking a 0 day, then we're going to plan out our next week or so to the next town or to the next hotel stop or whatever. And trying to find, good sections of trail that give us 18 to 20 miles or so. We have to have shelters. We have to have water. At some point in there, it'd be kind of nice to have a resupply so we don't have to haul out 5 days worth of food. That's a really tough part. And the fact that I replanned the logistics of the last 2 weeks multiple times, and it seems like every time we had a plan, nothing went according to well. The last 2 days have been good, even though we stayed an extra day in Palmerton to try to avoid a massive rainstorm that really never hit Palmerton, but I understand it did hit the trail, so we probably did the right thing. It seems like every time I plan something, it has fallen flat in the last week or two. And I'm hopeful that moving forward, we'll have better luck with that. We're, as I said, headed into New York and New Jersey, not in that order, and finding town stops where we can shower and do laundry and resupply is kind of a challenge, but we'll get it sorted out. I've talked to a couple of friends who have been through there recently or who know the area and have some ideas. And I know that once we get on trail, we'll see other hikers who are dealing with the same things that we are, and we'll all get it sorted out together. So anyway, this is the end of day, I want to say 117 here in the hotel. We're resupplied. I've got all my stuff, all my bags packed. They're just ready to go drop into my backpack, and we're up and out early tomorrow morning, heading for this New Jersey state line, crossing the Delaware River. So thanks for joining us today and for this 0 day. Look forward to hiking with you again tomorrow. We'll see you first thing in the morning.